they've been sleeping tons of. Wake up, wake up. Wake up is a new day, new era. Lights on, game loud, move clearer. They slept too long, now the storm got nearer. Wake up, look in the mirror. Wake up, you feel that shift in the air. Stardust burn, old crew in the flare. What's gonna shake when the dreamers declare? Wake up, we already here. Wake up, wake up. Cold floors, no name on the list. We built from the shadows, can't sleep on this. Every miss was a spark, now the flames exist. Universe are aligned, can't resist the twist. They hit snooze while we built in the dark. Now we run plays with celestial law. From the north to the world, hear the engine start. Wake up, we igniting the spark. This the moment when the lights flip.
Welcome to the new era of basketball. They doubted you. They overlooked you. They didn't believe in you. But now, everything changes. No more sidelines. No more being underrated. No more sleeping. It's time for your game to speak. NPA has traveled the world. We've connected with the top players. We've built this stage. And now, it's time. Time for the game to rise. Time for you to rise. Time for the basketball world to wake up. Welcome to the new era of basketball.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Am I excited to see you here? And we're going to have a lot of wonderful basketball. It's been a long season. Highs, lows, some middle and the ground part. But we're live here at Humber College, home of the Hawks, home of this year's North Pole Hoops NPA and WNPA Nationals. And let's get day one of the WNPA tournament going. We have number 6 St. Jude's taking on number 7 Edge. And even though we're going to have some younger viewers excited about the seeding here today, it's going to be an exciting matchup as we see these two sides face off for a third time this year. And as they say, third time, well, it's the charm. I'm Julian Quintero Verano, and I'm joined here today by Ottawa's finest, Jacob Ewing. Jacob, how are we feeling today?
Man, I'm so excited to be here. As you mentioned, the first day of the National Championship week. It all starts here, and these two teams looking to start their journeys off successfully on a potential championship winning run.
And I mean, both these teams, they have shown a lot of flashes throughout the year. They've given it everything they can. And while for one of them, they're feeling very confident, on another one, they're going to try to find a new star to break through. Edge, the one starting off here, and their lineup immediately letting it fly from range. No go. Their starters out here for today, Sadie Secord making her first appearance in months. She hasn't been able to play for this Edge side, finally coming through, making an appearance, fully healed from her injury. She's joined out there by number 11, Katie Anderson, along with number 15, Kiro Winquist, and also out there for them, Avery Zulak. And lastly, if I recall out there, yes, number 24 and Sky Bergen. So they're very excited here. They have Sadie here. How do you think this is going to be affecting them throughout this season, Jacob?
Well, this changes the whole narrative of their offense. Obviously, we know what Sadie brings to this offense. She's averaging 25 points per game in those 2 games she's played. And all of a sudden, you get a star player like that who can control the ball, slow things down, and run a play. That changes the whole narrative. Listen, these two teams have played each other twice so far this season. St. Jude has taken both those games as victorious. I think Edge now have a little something in their back pocket. We'll see how that changes. The dynamic of this game.
And that being said, for St. Jude's, they've won the last 2 games, but their big star player in those games and throughout this season has been Silvana Maldonado. She's out for the tournament with an injury. Heartbreak for St. Jude's, and not only is she missing, they're also missing Miriam Henriquez and Karis Apong. So that's going to be a lot of changes for them throughout this game. We're still waiting for the first basket. Zulak goes up and gets it. And as Edge take the 2-0 lead here to start things off, Jacob, quick question for you. Who does St. Jude's turn to here? Who do you think?
Well, as you mentioned, a lot of players out of the lineup today, but I'm going to go with, for St. Jude to turn to in their lineup, I'm just taking a look at the numbers last day. I'm going to go with Sophie Munn. She had 15 points last game, shot 3 for 10 at the beyond the arc. I think, obviously, you get a big dent in your offense missing Maldonado, but I think Munn might step up today.
Yeah, I mean, Sophie Munn out there starting for this team. She's joined by Davina Grant along with Alicia Money, number 9 in Marilla Plivchich, and lastly, number 4, Maylise Coco Sam. I talked with head coach Kenny Manning in the pregame, and he told me, one person I'm very excited to see is going to be Maylise. She's been working very hard in practice. She knows she has to step up. Finally getting a proper starting role today. Coach said keep an eye out on her. But I would have to agree with you with the Sophie Munn shout. She transferred from Fort Erie last year. She loves letting it fly from range. And though the efficiency might seem a little off for her, you might be like, oh, well, it's not crazy efficient. Trust me, if you give her rhythm, if you give her time, she gets it. Most of her three-point attempts that have gone wayward are the ones that she's forced to chuck up at the end of a shot clock cycle. So if she's able to get some comfortable shots, she's able to stay in rhythm, I think we should definitely be expecting some very high-quality play from her. That being said, Edge so far, 5-0 lead, and they've been really bringing it all to start off this one. It's 2 points from Yasmin Kell, along with 2 points from Winquist and a free throw from Sadie Secord. Munn dancing on this left-hand side, steps back, lets it fly for 3, and that's what I'm talking about, immediately letting it go. Foot was on the line for a long range too, but she's going to be the main dagger on this offensive side.
You talk about getting in rhythm. You see Munn at the top of the arc. They give her a little bit of space, and while Edge is going to learn quickly, they cannot do that as Munn makes them pay, drains it.
Substitution being made here. Sadie Secord coming out for a bit of a breather. On her way in is going to be class of 2030's very own Chloe Wondrasik. And I'm excited to see what she does here. Quick little distribution in to Zulak. Zulak out to Anderson. Anderson finds a teammate in the corner. It's a 3-ball, not falling for Bwalia. Bwalia still fighting. Hard tack, gets her own miss. Not able to convert it. Still once again, it will be Edge fighting, and it gets popped out of Zulak's hand. She will get a chance here again. Edge setting up in the half court.
Yeah, it's aggressive there on the offense there from Edge to get back-to-back offensive rebound and well able to get it out off the hand of St. Jude's and able to get another offensive opportunity.
Wondrasek tried finding Bwalia, ends up going out to Anderson. Her three-pointer, high bounce, no. Wondrasek rebounds, open lay, and they've been dominating the offensive glass so far. Edge up 7-2.
So tenacious, just finding that open space, and St. Jude's got to pick up the pace on defense if they're going to grab more boards.
Tipped pass inside. Anderson, the one leading the charge for Edge. Quick pass out to Bwalia. She's open on this right-hand side. Goes right to the basket through contact. Draws it. And 2 free throws coming for Chilela Bwalia.
Smart play there by Bwalia. She saw she had a lane right to the net, and that's going to force St. Jude to collapse in on her as 2 defenders kind of send her to the floor, and she'll head to the stripe now for a pair of throws.
Sadie Secord making her way in for Chloe Wondrasik. We're also going to be seeing number 12 make her first appearance in Freya Zarifa on the side of Edge. Bwalia, first free throw here, coming soon. Nice silent hush over this Humber gym. Isn't able to get that one to go. It sits awkwardly on the rim, and she'll be taking her second free throw now. And you look at this Edge team, I got to talk with head coach Johnny Verone pre-game, and as Bwalia misses both, St. Jude's getting back. I asked him, how are you feeling about your side? You went 4-4, bit of up and down throughout the year. You were missing Sadie. How are you going? And he goes, all the girls are healthy today. I'm expecting to shock some people today. But as always, one game at a time. So very exciting to see how Edge approach it here once again. They're giving them fits on defense. Get another steal. It's going to be Anderson. She has Secord inside. Finds her. She can't get the lay. moves it back out. It's going to be Zulak on the drive. Out to Bwalia. She sets it up. From range, it's short. Rebounded Zulak. Up it goes. And it will be another foul called. Edge has been dominating the offensive glass, and they've been dominating heading to the stripe. Fantastic play for them so far in this one. 4 offensive boards already.
Yeah, that's just insane. Already a 5-point lead, and looking to build on here with a pair of free throws. But just the rebounding game from Edge on the offensive side has been just incredible. St. Jude's just struggling to even find any sort of advantage. Maybe it's a tight advantage that Edge is using early on in the game, but it's been pretty much no struggle at all on the offensive glass for Edge.
Both these sides making substitutions. We're seeing number 2 and Ashlyn Krause check in. And on the side of St. Jude's, meanwhile, 4, Edge checking in for them. I just saw is number 14 and Temi Adewunmi. So we'll see where it goes. Once again, Munn inside. It gets through contact with Adewunmi. She hits the deck. The foul ends up going the way of St. Jude's. Yes, they will be the ones inbounding here. And it's actually head coach Eddie Richardson. He's also the head of the Edge program. He's going to be coaching the All-Star game for the men's team. He's going to be coaching the men's team. But it just goes to show how involved he is with this program at all levels. It seems here as we're getting set, it was actually an offensive foul.
Must have won against Sophie Munn. There's a bit of a collision on the defensive side between those two players.
And with 6:24 left in the first quarter, St. Jude's already find themselves in the bonus. So this is not going to be a fun first quarter for them. Already in some foul trouble. They're going to want to try to solidify things. It's 11-2 now. Checking in soon will be Sky Bergen on the side of Edge. Now St. Jude's, how do they attack? Sam. Pass on over to Munn. Munn curls around, Secord covering her. Goes up with it, a complicated layup, but Sophie Munn able to get it up and in. Breaks the duck, and it will be nice to see where it goes from here. Edge quickly trying to break through themselves. Pass inside, it's a find, it's a make, and they continue to stack it on. Another bucket from Freya Zarifa, and now they're going to press again. St. Jude's want to break out. It'll be passed over to Krause. She finds Surface. Surface slowing it down. Pass inside to Krause. Krause beating Kells, fighting her inside. Loses it for a moment. It's picked up by Anderson, putting the pressure. But it will be a reach-in foul on Katie Anderson. And now St. Jude's get to slow it down once more, get themselves settled again.
Yeah, Anderson just got the hands in there, and that's all to the benefit of St. Jude's Krause as she was swarmed by 3 defenders. Excellent defense there by Edge. Didn't like the call, but it will go for a foul against them.
I mean, Edge, what they've been showing on defense is tenacity. They're not scared of getting in the lanes. They're not scared of getting in front of the attacking player. And I mean, it worked off earlier when they drew the foul on Sophie Munn, and now that you have situations with the fact that they are now in the bonus, attack them. Try to draw as many fouls as you can on both sides of the ball. Surface, her floater, great little spin into the bucket, and the teardrop drops. Pass out on the break for Edge, and a whistle goes from the referee. It'll be turned over and will become St. Jude's ball. It was an inbound violation. I think it might have touched the backboard a little bit here on the inbound. And that would have been insane to see from the referee. But either way, St. Jude's an opportunity here to continue to shrink the gap here. We'll see where it goes. 5:30 remaining in this first quarter, 13-6.
Get an explanation here as the Edge coach. They're confused about the call. I mean, I would be too.
Eddie Richardson asking for clarification from the referees. Confused a little bit on the call, but you know what? He doesn't get mad about it. He says, you know what? I'm learning. I didn't know that was part of the rule book. Understandable here. I feel like everyone, from us as broadcasters to coaches, there's so many parts of the rule book that we're not fully well versed in. That being said, Edge, though, that what they do know is breaking out. Wondrasek able to go in, back out to Secord. Her 3 sits, no fall. Still, though, Edge fight. Yet another potential offensive board. No, Coco dives on top of it. Great play from Maylee's Coco Sam. Money loses it, gets stripped there. Adewunmi. It ends up continuing on for Edge. Wondrasek going on the corner. Secord's bucket, no. She still fights for it, keeps it, and it's still an absolute shamble. Finally a foul drawled, and it will be Maylee's Coco Sam. as things finally settle down a bit. Secord coming out for number 21, Avery Zulak. What a high-paced sequence.
Just back and forth, both teams going at 100 kilometers an hour. Just scrappy on the defense, but it was the ball movement of Edge which really determined the pace of that. Just so crisp, and it's a reason why they've gained themselves now up to a 7-point lead.
Surface being attacked by Wondrasic. Surface beats her though. Pass into Plivchich. Can't do much with it. Continues on. A nice little attack to the hoop by Sam, and she will be getting some free throws out of it. Mainly Coco Sam making a bit more of an impact today. She'll get a chance here at the line. Edge now with 4 fouls, so just on the crisp edge, so to say, of also entering the bonus.
Yeah, it looked like a blocking foul. 2 Edge defenders. They like to double team, especially when they get near inside the paint, and this time just kind of cut off her lane, and she'll look to convert on the second free throw.
Checking in now for St. Jude's is going to be number 26, Aaliyah Alimi. And Aaliyah Alimi making her first appearance this season. I believe with all the injury troubles that we've seen so far for this St. Jude's side, she was called upon to come make this appearance here. So nice to see for Aaliyah Alimi. First debut here now for St. Jude's. Edge, big attack inside, can't convert it. Still, though, they get the offensive board, and there we go. Adewunmi with the bucket. Makes it 15-7. Munn sizing up, steps back, given space, she lets it fly. Off the front of the rim, no go, and it will be Edge pushing the other way. A blocking foul from Surface will result in Adewunmi heading to the line, and Temi Adewunmi so far today has been pretty solid. 4 points on it, 2 from the line, 1 from the field here, and she'll get a chance to grow that advantage here with this trip to the free throw line. A bunch of substitutions being made for Edge as we see Sadie Secord and Yasmin Kells both check in on the side of Edge.
Well, I think a great description of her game so far from Adewunmi has been those last 2 possessions. On the first one on the offensive side, drives to the net, doesn't get the layup to go, grabs her own rebound, puts it right back up and scores. What does she do immediately? Sprints back on defense and creates a turnover, and now finds herself at the free throw line. Just phenomenal. So much hustle from her early on.
Now she gets her own miss. It gets kicked out. It's Zulak for 3. No. Still fighting for it. It will be Secord. Secord wanting to find someone inside. She does kick it all the way out to Wondrasic. Wondrasic, apologies. Out to Kells. Her 3-pointer. No. And Plivchich is the one that comes down with it. Alimi not able to corral it. It goes out of bounds. It will remain St. Jude's ball following the pressure from Sadie Secord.
And despite Edge having a pretty substantial lead right now, building early, they are 0 from 7 from beyond the arc. You have to wonder, Julian, if they make 1 or 2 of those this game, and the difference in score is just even bigger.
We'll be right back here following this quick little timeout. 16-7, the score for when we come back.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. You look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids do that and help as many kids as possible. Right?
We return, ladies and gentlemen, here. St. Jude's with 3:52 remaining, trying to continue to dig into this hole that they've dug themselves into. Pass inside to Plivchich. Plivchich immediately grabbed and stripped by Kells. It's a jump ball situation. Well, it gets ruled by the referees. It will become Edge ball there. And once again, St. Jude's just not been able to capitalize on the offensive end. So far, they've had 4 turnovers now offensively. And on top of that, they've only put up 8 shots in this game. It's been a tough one to start off, but Plivchich immediately sending it back on defense. Second chance for Edge, no. And they've been getting those a lot of second chance opportunities for Edge. This time they come away fruitless. It'll be Surface driving in, pausing, puts it up. It sits on the rim, no go on the bucket. Wondrasic, quick little pass over to Kells. Kells shovels over to Secord. Secord back into Kells. She wanted it on the face-up. Loses the ball though, Munn strips it away, hits the deck. And I'm seeing what the call is here. It will be a foul on Yasmin Kells, a shove there trying to get to the ball. Sophie Munn will get a chance to tack on some more here at the line as Sierra Sunkel looks to check in for St. Jude's.
Yeah, that's definitely the right call. Munn kind of all alone in the paint by herself, but she's surrounded by 2 Edge players, and they're just hounding her like a dog. And got a bit too physical there, obviously, with the foul. And some big free throws getting later on in the first quarter. St. Jude almost down to double digits in the deficit, down by 9.
First one for Munn doesn't fall. We'll see if she's able to convert on this second opportunity. Second free throw up and in. Splits her chances here at the line, and Maylis Coco Sam will be subbing in for Sophie Munn. Meanwhile, on the side of Edge, we're seeing Yasmin Kells check out. Katie Anderson making a return in the game here. So far, Katie Anderson this season, she's been quite strong. She has the 5th highest amount of steals per game at 2.9 a game this season. Very much been in the passing lanes, and we've seen that so far from Edge. They've been keeping a lot of pressure. And I think one of the big things they said, we've lost them twice already this year. We don't want to lose a third time.
In the last matchup between these two teams, Katie Anderson actually had a game-high 4 Edge with 14 points.
We'll see if she ends up taking control of things here. If she's the one that spearheads this attack, Edge with yet another steal. The pass goes far too high. Plivchich the one to recover it. Passes it over to Sam. Sam has Alimi on the right-hand side, takes it herself. Hard drive to the basket, and Sam, the one with the bucket. Great to see, making it a 6-point game now. Secord beats her defender. This time, they're not able to get the second chance. Plivchich the one to corral it, and as it gets ruled a jump ball, it will remain St. Jude's possession.
They're just doing a phenomenal job of collapsing right to the glass. They always have at least 2 players inside the paint, if not 3 most of the time. That's what's created so many offensive rebounds, or even like right there where you see them force St. Jude to have an inbound on their own end.
Ball into Surface. The pump fake gets Wondrasic in the air. Surface's second opportunity there after the pump fake makes it a 4-point game, 16-12. St. Jude's on a bit of a run. Secord, shovel over to Anderson, back to Secord. Pass inside of Zulak. Zulak sets it, tries getting it out to the corner, tipped by Surface, picked up by Anderson. Anderson holding on to it here, split little moment quickly, puts it up. Not able to convert, second chance by Winquist, no. Still they fight for it, it will be a jump ball. And it will remain on the side of Edge. Sky Bergen, the one checking in along with Chalela Bwalia and Tamia Dewinby. Subbing out will be Chloe Wondrasic along with Avery Zulak.
And the speed of game that Edge is playing here so far early on has forced them to use a lot of players, but that's what happens when you have great depth in your lineup. You can afford to keep the substitutions rolling, keep players fresh, and overall keep the gameplay at a very fast pace.
And right there, basket by Adewunmi gets waved off due to, I believe, just a foul in the paint for Edge by number 15, Kira Winquist. Very unfortunate to see there, got waved off. St. Jude's now a chance to inbound. Head coach Kenny Manning was not too pleased about something he saw on that last possession on the inbound, and even though it got waved off, he's obviously concerned here for his players. Sophie Munn checking in for Aaliyah Alimi. It seems that she had an earring in, and as a result had to come out just to get that removed or covered or something. Munn drive inside, goes up with it, draws the foul, and will be able to head to the line. Great attack from Munn to get to the line here.
Head down, sees the lane, opponent on her shoulder, kind of uses her body weight to keep her away, but the Edge defender just got a little bit too hungry, and just like that, Julian, we were talking about how it's a 9-point game. It's a 5-point run right now for St. Jude, only 4 points the difference here late in the first quarter.
Sophie Munn not able to convert on her first free throw. Almost said fist free throw, but the first free throw. Second one able to get it no problem. Makes it a 3-point game, and a game that has really just felt like a game of runs so far. Edge came out on fire to begin, and now as it gets turned over again, St. Jude's with a chance to potentially tie. 1:43 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, and first turnover there. You see Adinwumi trying to play at such a fast pace like Edge has so far, and that just results. That's going to happen, though. Slippery hands out of bounds. And you see it again there on the, this time it goes towards Edge's way, playing at that fast-paced defense, force a turnover this time.
Sophie Munn wasn't able to beat Bwalia, and as a result, again, too hard of a pass. The court cannot corral it, and St. Jude's now look to answer going the other way.
It's a hot potato match here late in the first quarter. Both teams just giving the ball over.
Surface breaking out to Sam. Sam, again, not able to hold on to it. It's loose again. Adewunmi and Sam go for it. Jump ball called. It'll get ruled. One referee already pointing in favor of St. Jude's. And now Edge will make some substitutions. Wondrasic making another appearance again. And Freya Zarifa checking in. Bwalia coming out. Secord coming out. And Edge really keeping all their players fresh here. They don't really have anyone in foul trouble individually. A couple players all around with one foul, but no one in foul trouble. Surface dancing around, splits defenders up to the basket. Great drive by Sierra Surface, and the left-handed layup makes it a 1-point game. Edge, how do they respond? Drive in, shovel immediately from Bergen to Wondrasic. And now as they continue to keep it pushing, Bergen pausing, pass on out, couple pump fakes, quick little pass on over. Adewunmi inside, shovels it over. The shot there in for Zarifa, and she gets those 2 points right back. 55 seconds remaining.
Smart play there by Adewunmi. She's driving inside, and she does have a lane to the net if she wants it. Instead, drops it off to the big man in the paint, and it's an easy 2.
Munn's three-pointer doesn't fall. Edge are the ones to recover, but now they got to break out of their own end. Quick little pass over to Wondrasic, over to the corner. It's Anderson. Her three-pointer gets it! And they've struggled from beyond the arc, but Edge get the first three for them in the corner, and it's the first made three of the day.
And that's all it takes is one to get your team hot from beyond the arc. 0 for 8 going into that one. That's a big three-pointer for Edge.
And a 5-point swing immediately as they force the steal. Wondrasic with the lay. 23-15 there. It was almost a tie game, and in the blink of the eye, it's an 8-point advantage. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Munn trying to get open, given some space. She lets it go at the buzzer. It's long on the rim, and that's the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Edge currently have the lead, 23-15. But as we head into the second quarter, it can be anyone's game, as it's shown to be a game of runs. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with some more WNPA action here at Humber College.
You guys got to be aggressive. 6 minutes left. It's a 13-point game. Okay, this is the time. Now's the time.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. They look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids do that and help as many kids as possible. Right?
return here now for some second quarter action. 23-15, and Edge will get a chance to grow it here on this first advantage for them. Zulak quickly looking around. Munn, the one covering her. Swing all the way out to Anderson in the corner. She hit 1-3 at the end of the first. She hits one here at the start of the second. 2 for 2, and her most recent attempts. Wonderful see here for Edge. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was saying they were putting the pressure on immediately here, but St. Jude's able to break out as it's loose again. Still be Money trying to break it through, passing to Ife. And she gets the bucket, but it's called for the travel. Edge gets to go the other way here.
Yeah, it's a good attempt there from St. Jude's, but still it's the offense in the paint there by Edge. They're swarming players, forcing them to get uncomfortable. And you can see there, one too many steps in the paint, holding the ball, forces the turnover.
Now Edge attack again. Up goes Adewunmi. It seems it was tipped by Ife, and now it's going to be Davina Grant trying to break through. Pressure from Adewunmi. Immediately draws the foul, and once again, early on, we're seeing some fouls here for these teams, and that by itself not very good by any stretch of the imagination. Yasmin Kells coming in quickly. She'll be subbing in for good old Temi Adewunmi.
Well, yeah, she just committed the foul, so coach decides just to get a quick substitution in. I'm sure we'll see Adewunmi back in the game quite soon, though. Sticking to the same strategy here is Edge. And now you wonder, Julian, how St. Jude's looks to not maybe just slow down the game, but get more of control of it. I feel Edge is playing at such a pace right now, and St. Jude is trying to catch up to them. But when they're resulting in them trying to catch up, they just look a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the big things for St. Jude is the fact that they're missing Silvana Maldonado. She's the pace setter for this team. She's the point guard. She's the one that runs the transition. It's very tough to try to make that adjustment on the fly, especially in a game as high stakes as this one. But we'll see what St. Jude's make of it. Kenny Manning definitely going to try to make some changes throughout. Once again, Money, the one with the opportunity, and she's able to draw the foul. 2 free throws coming. And it is the third foul already in this second quarter for Edge. That's going to be something they want to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, a bit of a flip of the script, as in the first quarter we saw St. Jude go into foul trouble early on, put Edge in the bonus quite rapidly into the game. But now with 3 fouls already for Edge, could see St. Jude with only 2 more get themselves in bonus early on. And when you're down in the deficit like you are right now by 11, you'll take every free throw attempt you can get.
Money's free throw is short, and it will be Kells with the board, trying to break it out. It's tipped by Monet. Money, apologies. She gets fouled again by Yasmin Kells. And as St. Jude's look to inbound, Kells will be coming out. No. Yes. Walia checks in. We're also going to be seeing Zarifa check in for Sky Bergen. 4 fouls already in the second quarter for Edge. Munn quickly finds Grant. Grant trying to circle around, loses it. Walia with the steal, and now Walia leading the way. Has Grant on the hip, goes up with it. Grant with the pressure, not able to get the block, but the second opportunity after forcing the miss gets put away by Avery Zulak to make it a 13-point game.
Yeah, it's more of that tenacious rebounding there from Edge. You see, when you have a fast breaks, not a lot of St. Jude defenders come back, but all of the Edge offensive players join the offense, get the board, put it up and in.
Edge get their press broken here. And right when they were breaking out after forcing a miss, they try getting it over to St. Jude's. They end up turning it over. Sakura quickly pass over to Zulak. She gets it on the transition. Her lay goes. And the lead continues to grow. 15-point advantage for Edge here early on in the second.
It's a great play by Sakura. Just a bit of a football pass over everybody. Zulak, an easy layup.
Grant 1-2, tried passing it inside. Wondrasic, the one to get there first, though, forces it out of bounds. And it will be Edge setting up here on the half-court defense. Aaliyah Alimi checking in now. And Aaliyah Alimi passes quickly over to Munn. Munn thought about it, instead drives in, floats it, high bounce off the rim, cannot convert. Walia the one coming down with it, and is fouled immediately. Hits the deck, it's helped up by a teammate.
That's the pace Walia trying to play Edge. She grabs the ball, goes up the court immediately. St. Jude defenders, you kind of get in that panic state where you feel like you have to do something immediately. Put a hand right to the wrist. That's a foul. Here's Edge will have an inbound.
Zarifa out to Walia, seeing what she can do. Pass quickly inside, out immediately to the corner. A 3-ball off the front end of the rim by Zulak. She can't convert it. St. Jude's now, they slow it down. They want to try to get set again. A trap in the corner, pass into Money. Money out to Munn in the other corner. Her 3-pointer, Money! Money with the assist, and Money is the 3 as Sophie Munn finally converts from beyond the arc, and a timeout immediately called there. 30-18 the score here, Jacob.
Yeah, well, not all offensive possession. That's what St. Jude needs. Edge cannot afford to leave Sophie Munn alone beyond the arc. She is currently 5th. That probably with that 3-point made probably moves her to 4th in 3-pointers made in the entire league. So you can't leave her open, and the lead's down to 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very tough half so far here for St. Jude's. They were able to clean things up at the end of the first quarter, but right there up to that point, Edge was on a 7-0 run. St. Jude's with that 3-pointer get their first points of this second quarter, and it's been brutal to see for them so far, but St. Jude's, they're going to want to try to make these adjustments, and I think that's the style of play that they need. We've seen Edge put a lot of emphasis on the trap, on the pressure. What St. Jude's needs to do is stay calm, move the rock around, and keep the spacing as clear as it was on that play. Sophie Munn was able to get an off-handed screen to the corner. She was wide open, and the play started off very simple. Surface draws 2 defenders in, pass into Money inside. Alicia Money with a chance to potentially float it up, get a chance in front of the basket, but as the defenders collapsed on her, she saw Munn in the corner, knows that Sophie likes those shots from the corner, and it was Money. 30-18. As we return here from the timeout, and Edge want to try to get something back here. Despite them being the ones leading big, they want to try to add on to that advantage, but they turn it over immediately. Ife gets the steal, pass on over to Surface. Surface splits a defender, drives inside, right-handed lay. No, gets back to Sierra Surface. She was already out of bounds when she got the board. Unfortunate positioning there for Sierra Surface's Edge. Will get a chance to go the other way.
Unfortunate play there, but when a ball drops into your hands, it's instincts just to pick it up, but just a hair out of bounds for Surface.
Edge tried catching St. Jude's napping, but Surface pokes it out and it goes out of bounds. And it will be very nice to see what they can put together here. Up again, hard attack, no go. And it'll be picked up by Money. St. Jude slowing it down quickly. How do they attack it here? It goes to Alimi. Back it goes to Munn. That's very deep. From 3, off the front of the iron. No. Thought for Zarifa. She passes it to Zulak. Out it goes to Bwalia. Edge breaking out. The pass going to Munn. Munn saves it. Able to keep it in bounds. And now Money slows it down quickly. Has Surface on the left side. Hands to Munn on the right. Munn sizing up on Secord. Giving some space. Beats it off the screen. The switch for Bwalia. Munn passing out to Alimi, but she stepped out of bounds. Edge will be the ones retaking possession here as they make some substitutions.
Yeah, that was a great defense from Edge. You can see Sophie Munn. She takes the screen, goes around the outside, but runs out of real estate, and there's no passing lanes at all, and that results in the turnover.
I think Edge immediately after that play, they immediately got into the conversation and said, look, we're fine with letting them shoot from 3. Yes, Munn's very good at it, but it's been one of those days where it doesn't seem like it's converting from beyond the arc for both sides. Just make it hell inside. Force them to take those exterior shots. We'll do the same. And Chalila Bwalia delivers here. Big 3-pointer from her to make it a 33-18 gap.
They go back to the 3-point conversation. Edge struggled early, but they've hit 3 recent ones.
Opportunity here for St. Jude's to continue to try to get back into it. 5:58 remaining in the second quarter as Alicia Money heads to the free throw line.
That's 5 fouls already for Edge, I believe, Julian. That would put St. Jude in the bonus only halfway through the second quarter.
It does put him in the bonus, and I believe based off of what we're seeing here, second foul for Avery Zulak. It's going to be something you want to keep an eye on, is that foul trouble journey. So far, Adewunmi already with 2 fouls. We're also seeing Zulak here with 2 fouls, and Yasmin Kells 2 fouls, and Katie Anderson 2 fouls. 2 fouls all across the board. Yes, they're rotating their players. They're keeping them fresh. That's been a very, very positive element of the game so far for Edge, but You got to be wary on that. You got to be very, very careful when it comes to the foul game. Free throw missed. Munn the one that comes down with it. St. Jude's not one to really get offensive boards, but they do here. Munn, pass into Kraus. Kraus back out to Sam. Sam slowing it down. Pass all over to Alimi for three. High bounce, no. Money's the one to come down with it. Great offensive board. Still, it will be a jump ball situation. It rules in the favor of St. Jude's. Avery Zulak checking out. Freya Zarifa checking in on the side of Edge. St. Jude's inbounding here. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Yeah, Zulak subbing back in as a team high 8 points for Edge. Been very efficient on the offense.
Out to Munn. Her three-pointer just long. Picked up by Money. Money swings it over to Munn again. Out to the corner. Alimi, the one who has it. Drive inside. Blocked. No! Foul there by Avery Zulak. No, apologies, by Kira Winquist. Apologies, Zulak just checked out. Would have been crazy if she was in. But it will be Winquist with the foul, her first of the game. And Alimi, it seemed that she was able to get a clean drive to the basket. For a moment, it seemed that Winquist would be able to get there, but nah. A lot of contact with Alimi. She has the line, misses the first.
Yeah, it looked like she had a bit of a lane, but just got clipped just on the outside, which disrupted it, and that results in the free throws.
First one missed by Alimi, second one, a couple bounces, but it ends up going her way. Davina Grant checking in now for Alimi on the side of St. Jude's. Seeing where it goes on this inbound. Ball, quick little pass inside. It ends up finding Zarifa. Zarifa to Winquist. She can't hold on to it out of bounds. In the case of the Butterfingers, continues to strike in this game.
And I talked about the pace that Edge was playing on earlier. We see a very aggressive full court press now from St. Jude's. And well, they try to transition the ball up the court quickly, but that just results in the turnover.
Quick chance, no go, and it will be a kickball violation on Davina Grant. No, sorry, this called for a hold there, and that's unfortunate for Davina Grant. It will be a personal foul. Wondrasik checking in now on the side of Edge. Comes in for Sky Bergen.
It looked like Grant kind of locked up her defender there and made it incapable of grabbing that rebound.
Davina Grant checks out. Sierra Surf is making an appearance once more. The guard from the class of 2027. I've been very impressed with her every time she's checked in. Definitely, I think, going to be a player to keep an eye on next season, as she still has one more season here in the WNPA. Out it gets swung to Bwalia. She keeps it over to Secord. She lets it fly for three. High on the rebound chance. Goes back to Secord. She's still fighting for it. It was off of her last, out of bounds, and it will be St. Jude's continuing on here to try to close this gap. It's 33-19. At one point, the game was 16-15, but what a run Edge has gone on since then.
I think it's been just a capability of making more shots. We saw the three-pointer started to drop, having made, I believe, all three of theirs, or probably two here in the second quarter alone, but just a lot more efficient from where they got most of their initial points from.
And as the ball looks to get inbounded at the 5 p.m. slot that we have here, apologies, I'll give that update in a moment. Aside, beats the defender, not able to get the layup, and now it's going to be Edge. Quick little pass on out, finds one.
Just a lack of defenders from St. Jude's getting back. Edge had numbers up the court and made it convert.
Money, reverse lay, no. And as it bounces around, it goes out of bounds. And it will remain St. Jude's ball. Some subs being made, but yes, I'll look forward to what else we have here for the remainder of day one after the St. Jude's Edge game. I am going to be calling with our beloved Matt Ritchie. We're going to be calling the Sacred Heart Code game, and that'll be a fun one for you all to hear. I'm very excited. Jacob, you're going to be hopping over with our very own Captain Bulgaria, as he's known as, Tony Marinov, and you will be calling the Notre Dame Kings Christian game happening on the court behind us. So if you want to tune in for both these games, they will still be here on the North Pole Hoops YouTube channel. And I mean, we're going to be having two games going at the same time throughout this entire weekend. For some of them, you'll hear me. For some of them, you'll hear Jacob, and you'll hear all from our wonderful cast and crew of broadcasts that we have here, and that's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing basketball, amazing players on the court, amazing people calling the games. So excited for the rest of the week, Julian.
Edge trying to break out. It's loose on the ground. Coco Sam comes down with it, and the symbol here throwing.
I see more of the game plan. Three substitutions coming in for Edge. It just allows them to play at the pace of having to play 100% of the time.
Surface hard drive inside. Her layup, no go on the conversion. Sam, apologies, that was Money who got the board again, and she's fouled on her way up. And I will say, Alicia Money, it says she only has 2 offensive boards. That would have been her 3rd. I think she has way more. She's been cleaning the glass wonderfully for St. Jude's as she gets another chance here at the line.
As someone needed to step up because Edge has really controlled the rebound game, but Money has been good as of recently, only averaging 2.8 rebounds a game. But when your team does have a lack of rebounds, someone's got to step up, and Money's looking to do that.
Money is Money for her first free throw of the game. She's 1 for 5 now. It's her first points of the game. She can't convert on that one as she splits it. Edge trying to break out, pass to Wondrasik. Wondrasik, quick swing over to Secord. Secord out, it goes. Anderson for 3, no. Still fighting for it, and up and in for Freya Zarifa. And the points end up going for Edge once more. Their lead grows to 14. Munn quickly passing it over to Kraus. Kraus finds Money. Money settling up. Has Munn curling a bit high, and it gets now taken by Wondrasik. Wondrasik leading it up, passing it. Edge trying to keep it pushing. Out it goes to the corner. Back over to Wondrasik. She lets it fly. It goes long, and it sits on the rim nicely. And Chloe Wondrasik with a bucket.
You talk about a shooter's bounce most of the time when it bounces up in the air and drops in, but that ball just caught some part of the rim and died down completely.
Wondrasik 3 for 3 from the field. 7 points now for her in this one. 40-23 the score, and Edge force a turnover again and will have a chance to continue to grow the chance. And once again, the same violation we saw earlier in the game gets whistled again.
It's very interesting. It's happened on both instances when the inbounder throws the ball diagonal with the net, and it must get a piece of it. We'll see if teams maybe adjust and start throwing it where the net isn't involved, or if the refs are going to be this stagnant about it.
I mean, I if it was up to me, I wouldn't pass it that high over the rim. Just a little bounce pass off to the side.
Need, yeah.
Cut a little closer. Who knows? Either way, Edge were able to tip it on the inbound, and they get another chance to reset. Munn, quick little running floater. Can't convert on it. Wondrasik can't corral. Hits the deck, and it will remain St. Jude's ball. Edge setting up again. Secord guarding on the inbound. It will be Sam the one to do so. Who makes themselves known? No one making themselves known. Finally finds Kraus. Kraus goes up and in. Great find from Sam on the inbound. Nice bucket for Ashlyn Kraus. And that is, I believe, her first points of the day. Yes, 1 for 1.
Yeah, great cut there by Kraus. She's getting open in the paint. She's 6'3", has the height advantage over her opponent. Easy bucket.
Immediately a turnover forced. Edge fouls again. And a substitution being made here. Freya Zarifa checking out. Checking in will be Kira Winquist. And we'll see where it goes from there. The inbound almost stolen. Plivchich wasn't able to establish herself in front of Winquist. And Edge the ones being given that possession. They'll be the ones to come back with it.
Yeah, Kenny Manning unpleased with that inbound play as it forced an unforced turnover.
And it's another unforced turnover again. This time it will be leading forward. Once again, it's blocked as Wondrasik still keeping the pressure. Kraus keeps it though. Finds surface over to Munn. Munn covered by Anderson. Pass inside, tipped, wonderful hands in the lane. That's why you always keep him there to deny the pass. And Munn not able to save it. She steps out of bounds when doing so. It will be Edge to inbound, and it will be Edge on the timeout. 40-25 here when we return from this timeout here at Humber College for the WNPA playoffs.
Right back. Okay. You guys got to be aggressive. 6 minutes left. It's a 13-point game. Okay, this is the time. Now's the time.
Stay focused. We return Edge for this inbound. 2:15 remain in the second quarter. Quick pass into Wondrasek. And she's going to try to get something quickly. Finds Katie Anderson. Anderson out to Secord. She's open for three. Gets it! Sadie Secord, she's been a little quiet today. Only 1 point from a free throw, but finally converts from beyond the arc, and that might get her going. Sophie Munn responds with a pull-up from the elbow on the other end. 43-27 now.
And you think with how big of a lead Edge has that Secord would have played a big part of it, but if she can get it hot, then Edge, well, they could probably just ride this out. That's another big three right there, Julian.
Back to back, and just like that, it's a 6-point swing from just Sadie Secord. Almost a 20-point gap, 19 points to be specific. Plivchich not able to convert on it. Picked up by Edge. Secord the one to have it. Pass on out to Wondrasek. Wondrasek continues on to Anderson. She drives inside, swings it out to a wide open Winquist. She can't get the lucky bounce. Munn leads it up now, 1:15 remaining. Cuts to the right-hand side, takes it to the baseline, swings it all the way across the surface, can't corral. Edge will be the one setting up once again. Money checking in.
Yeah, Sophie Munn, we see her bring the ball up the court again. She's been the one to run the offense here early on for St. Jude's, and she tries to do it again. She drives baseline, tries to kick it out to the corner, but because she's going so fast, she can't negate her momentum and ends up putting it out of bounds.
Katie Anderson, a 5-second violation to inbound. It becomes St. Jude's ball. And as it currently sits, 1:10 remaining in this second quarter. Still a whole second half to go. But the winner of this game, being so far Edge, will be taking on number 3 Niagara Prep tomorrow at 11 a.m. So keep your eyes peeled for that game, especially for one very big reason. Niagara Prep star players, they're going to be at Team Canada camp. Based off all reports, they will not be playing in WNPA Nationals. Very heartbreaking to see. But when you're missing Jordan Wheeler, who's one of the top scorers in the league, KK Santa Maria, who I believe is the leading 3-point scorer in the league, also one of the best point guards in the league, period, in my opinion. I've been getting to see her for years. She's been fantastic. But then on top of that, Lexi Wee, a very talented class of 2027 player, and Ari Turla, the stud going to Florida Gulf Coast University. All 4 of them going to be reporting to Team Canada camp. Might be a very big opportunity for Edge to try to make the semifinal if they're able to close it out here. Or maybe St. Jude's can bring it back. Nice bucket there from Sierra Surface. Every weekend that I've gotten to see the St. Jude's side, they've been able to pull off some very nice comebacks in all the other ones. I saw it for D1 Scholastic and that team that ended up making some noise. So we'll see if the women's team can do the same as the younger men's team. They've been fantastic at all levels. Contact there between them. Both get helped up. They seem to be okay. And it seems it's going to be ruled in what way? It will be ruled in the way of St. Jude's.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I think that would be a defensive foul here.
Yeah, I think it's going to go against Braulio. She kind of sprawled out, kind of in desperation as St. Jude's almost had a 2-on-0 the other way up the court. And Braulio just kind of dived in front of her opponent's space and ends up with a couple free throws because of it.
Free throw for Alicia Money. And producer Matt letting us know it was an unsporting foul was the decision there for him. So it will be obviously a technical as we're seeing the free throws here. Money not able to hit on the first. Second one hits it. And I believe it will remain St. Jude's ball. Yes. Subs being made. Bwalia checking out, checking back in. It will be number 12, Freya Zarifa. And at 6'1", the class of 2029 player. I mean, this Edge team, as good as they've looked so far, they don't really have a lot of people graduating. Yasmin Kells and Katie Anderson, the 2 seniors. But apart from that, everyone coming back next season.
And that's going to be big for this team to continue developing throughout the season and get almost your whole lineup returning next year. That's going to be a scary team.
Katie Anderson called for a push. She does not like that call whatsoever. The coaches at Edge do not like that whatsoever. And again, Alicia Money heading to the line. And Alicia Money so far today has had 8 free throw attempts in this one. She's been having frequent trips to the line, been a bit more unfortunate with it, and she is 2 for 8, but we'll see how she's able to continue on with this. When you get the chances at the line, It's best to get those chances more so because it means your opponent's going to be fouling out. Money, first one falls. Make it 3 for 9 on the day.
Yeah, she's just going to stick with it. Got to have the same confidence on this 10th free throw as she had with her first, especially with the deficit they're in.
Can't convert on it. Edge rebound, breaking out quickly to Wondrasik. Wondrasik, pressure on from Money. He leaves it to Secord. Her three-pointer, no! It'll be rebounded again. Up it goes, swatted. Still fighting for it. Is Money on the ground. She has it. But the time runs out. 46-31 will be the score as we enter the half here, Jacob. And when we return from this halftime break, we're going to break down what changes we think these teams can make, who's going to be pushing forward, and maybe even a preview for what's coming soon. 46-31 when we return from halftime. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. You look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids with that and help as many kids as possible. Right?
You guys got to be aggressive. 6 minutes left. It's a 13-point game. Okay, this is the time. Now's the time.
Stay focused.
What's going on, everyone? Mike McHale here. I first came into North Pole Hoops back in July of 2024 as Director of Operations. That fall-winter season was a huge moment for us. We launched the inaugural WNPA with 10 teams where Royal Crown was crowned as champion. More importantly, the feedback from teams, parents, and coaches was incredible. People loved the experience that we were building for girls basketball. But as I spent more time in gyms, I realized something. On the boys' side, there was always more exposure platform, more visibility, more storytelling, more opportunities. And I felt like it was time to level the playing field. That's when my role naturally evolved into Director of Women's Basketball Development and Head Girls National Scout. The mission became simple: build a real ecosystem that gives these girls a spotlight they deserve. After the 24-25 fall-winter season, we launched our first ever Girls Showcase division in the spring. 6 junior teams with B1CA All-In, crowned champions. Right after that came our first ever Girls CNIT with also 6 teams, and Drop Off Elite made history as our inaugural CNIT champion. What stood out the most wasn't just the competition. It was how the community responded. Parents, players, and coaches were excited about the way we showcased the girls. The standout articles, the stats leaders, the storylines, and more importantly, real exposure. Fast forward to today, we've grown to 33 girl teams across 4 divisions, with programs coming in from Quebec, Calgary, Saskatchewan, all across Ontario. For me, it's always been bigger than just running leagues. I take the time to really know the players, their strengths, their weaknesses, and how we can help them reach the next level. So if you're a program, a parent, or a player who wants to be part of something special, don't miss the opportunity to help us continue building this platform and giving Canadian girls the real exposure they truly deserve. Let's keep elevating Canadian women's basketball together.
They've been sleeping tons of. Wake up, wake up. Wake up is a new day, new era. Lights on, game loud, move clearer. They slept too long, now the storm got nearer. Wake up, look in the mirror. Wake up, you feel that shift in the air. Stardust burn, old crew in the flare. What's gonna shake when the dreamers declare? Wake up, we already here. Wake up, wake up. Cold floors, no name on the list. celestial law. From the north to the world, hear the engine start. Wake up. We igniting the spark. This the moment when the lights flip.
Now I'm rising with fire from what they used to boast. Bridge culture with core, let your roots roar. From Toronto, Jeddah, Dubai, open every door. They say you're small, you don't belong in the score. But universe whisper, you built for much more. Wake up to your power, see the game wave. Cordage your voice, the hoops your state. Every strap you grab, every shot you take. Be the message in the grind, no silent breaks. They slept on me, now I rise to the sky. Stardust in my veins, see the flame in my eye. Game speak loud, I don't need to try. From shadows to spotlight, watch me testify. Wake up the world, let them feel who we be. Roots in the ground, but a soul run free. Internet's connect, gateway to your dreams. Game speaks.
Every player deserves a chance to be seen, a chance to be heard, a chance to leverage opportunities and showcase their skills. At NPH, players and teams can create their very own unique pieces of content, from individual player and team mixtapes to feature stories, program documentaries, and live broadcast experiences. NPH creates high-quality visual content with one purpose: exposure. Canada breeds basketball talent, and the players and programs deserve a chance to showcase it. So wake up, because exposure starts here.
My name is Silky Sullivan. Who's missing is my wife, the second half of DNV Chill Cryo Wellness Spa, Verona Sullivan. We started this company, DNV Chill Cryotherapy Wellness Spa, about going on 5 years ago. We felt the need for athletes to have recovery and pain management at sporting events. Technology that we have, the device that we have, we are able to spray athletes before they play, during halftime, and after they play, because it's nothing but 60 to 90-second sessions. It reduces inflammation, it reduces swelling, it eliminates muscle soreness. It's very efficient and it's very powerful. Anywhere that they're playing a high level of basketball, they're gonna need recovery. And I must say, this is my first time in Canada. Of course, I watched the SGA, the OKC won the championship, but for me to see with my own eyes, these kids I'm very impressed. I told Tyreek that I'm very impressed with the level of play that they're playing out there. With that being said, they playing long games. Like I tell kids, you have to recover like you practice and play. They're playing every day, they're practicing every day, and they're training every day. So you have to let your body recover. And so I figure that this is something that we could come up here and help them with, and they could also help us, and we can help each other, man.
Welcome to the new era of basketball. They doubted you. They overlooked you. They didn't believe in you. But now, everything changes. No more sidelines. No more being underrated. No more sleeping. It's time for your game to speak. NPH has traveled the world. We've connected with the top players. We've built this stage. And now, it's time. Time for the game to rise. Time for you to rise. Time for the basketball world to wake up. Welcome to the new era of basketball.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here for the second half of action. Third quarter about to commence. It's 46-31. And Jacob, just real quick, let's talk about the things that you think St. Jude's could adjust here if they want to try to come back from this 15-point hole.
Well, they got to spread out the offense. Sophie Munn has been the one to kind of control the narrative. We see the ball in her hands right now. She seems to have the ball a lot, and most of the time, Edge has adjusted now to play against her, force her to the outside, force her to take tough shots like that, where the percentage of dropping is low. I would like to see St. Jude get a couple more offensive players involved, shifted around, because right now Edge is perfectly adjusted to the way St. Jude's is playing.
Now, the adjustments Edge has made have been very, very good for them throughout, and we'll see how they approach it here to continue on. The miss there from Edge is unfortunate. St. Jude's go the other way. Pass over to Davina Grant. Quick pass to Munn. She's open. Decides to take it in baseline. Finds a Plivchik. Plivchik hesitated a bit. Isn't able to get it as she gets bodied real quick for a moment. Goes out of bounds, and Plivchik cannot hold on to it. Becomes Edge ball. And right there, Plivchik, she's a very young player, if I remember correctly. Yes, class of 2028. She is second in the league in blocks. Very, very good defensively under the rim, but one of the big things that I've noticed for her, and I think it kind of goes all the way around for St. Jude's, they're hesitating a lot on their interior looks. I've seen one too many times. Ball handler will pass it inside on a dump off. Instead of going straight up with it, they'll hesitate on a pump fake. Edge have not been biting on that at all today. Gotta be wary. Gotta be like Sierra Surface on that play right there. Take it up immediately. Don't hesitate. Just trust it. Especially when you know Edge is in a bit of foul trouble. Go up at them. Plivchik with the block, but Edge get their own board. They put it right back up, and again, it's a 15-point gap.
Yeah, both teams go opportunity for opportunity, trading twos.
Surface inside, floats it, can't convert. Wanted something there with the contact, doesn't get it. Now it's going to be Anderson attacking Grant. Pass into Winquist. Winquist cannot hold on to it. Out of bounds it goes. St. Jude's retake.
I like that attack there from Anderson. She saw her lane, sped up the pace all of a sudden, kind of throws off her defender, just couldn't get the pass on the tee.
St. Jude's want to attack again. Davina Grant in, and I've wanted to see personally more of Davina Grant, a very talented ball handler, and she did find Alicia Money, but Money gets swatted there. It'll be an inbound opportunity for St. Jude's. Bwalia and Kells both checking in. Bergen and Winquist checking out.
And with all these substitutions, Julian, it's not only the fact that fresh players are getting on the court, it's when St. Jude obviously is adjusting to players when you're on the court. Obviously, you know your opposition, you kind of get used to how they play, but if you quite frequently keep switching things up, that gives no rhythm for St. Jude at all.
Plivchik hit a bucket on one side, and a three-pointer from Secord, no go. They get their own miss, but it goes over the head of Anderson on the pass back to the top. And as a result of that, it will become St. Jude's ball. And a little random point of conversation here. On the pass on out, I wanted to say that they brought it back to the point. And I mean, that's a hockey term. I know that. But I feel like it's applicable here. You know what I mean? Point of attack. I guess it does, but, you know.
They cycle it around. And sometimes when you need to play it back into a safe area, you play it back up to the point. And that's exactly what that was. Except that was more of a rocket.
You know, sometimes when you're on the break, you got to put the ball in deep, and we'll see where it goes. Three-pointer for Sophie Munn. She splashes it home, says, you know what, forget about the point, forget about anything. I'm keeping it on the perimeter, and I'm getting 3 points from it. She gets the steal as well. Finds Surface inside. Her attack ends up getting tipped a little bit. Bwalia fighting for it, tried passing it out. It will be a foul called on number 1, Sophie Munn. The rule here will be a bit of a shove there from her, and it will be Edge inbounding again. Subs being made. Checking in, Melis Coco Sam. We're also going to be seeing Temi Adewunmi checking in for Avery Zulak.
Well, that last three from Sophie Munn continues her game high, now up to 17 points. That passes what she had when these two teams played previously with only 15, and still lots of time here to go here, Julian. She's already at 17.
Edge called for the turnover, and as a result there, it will be 48-38. St. Jude's a chance to make it a single-digit game for the first time in a while. Surface dancing around. Anderson picks her up. Surface pauses for a moment. Back to Munn. She's open for three. Able to splash it home. Sophie Munn with her third three of the game.
That's all it takes. Munn is feeling herself right now with back-to-back triples.
Adewunmi beats Munn. Takes it inside. Plivchik steps over. Great defensive step back from Plivchik. And it will be ruled last off of Adewunmi. She wasn't able to corral it on the drive. And as a result, St. Jude's once again, they've been having a nice run here to start off this third. And if it gets anything nicer than this, 10-2 the run here in the third quarter. And St. Jude's looking to strike again while the iron's hot. Munn on this right-hand side on Secord. Nothing there. Back out to Surface. Surface takes it to his left. Steps back. Launches it from three. Not able to get it. It's long. Rebounded by Kells. Quick out to Anderson. Anderson beats her defender. Drive inside. Has Adewunmi inside. As that takes it herself. Bodies the defender. Takes in the contact and will draw the foul. 2 free throws coming for Katie Anderson. And that's a wonderful drive into the basket.
It's an interesting play watching develop on the defensive side where this starts. St. Jude's, no one really collapses it. Everyone kind of stays stagnant and slowly but surely makes their way back on the defense. But Katie Anderson, who did collapse in on that offensive rebound, that defensive rebound, she gets it, and then she transitions all the way up the floor. St. Jude's just slow to get back there and results in a potential couple free throws here for Anderson.
Anderson able to sink that second one. Reestablishes the gap. 50-41 now. Munn dancing on Bwalia. Bwalia trying to force her inside. Instead, it will be passed over to Surface. Her jumper, it seemed it might have been tipped. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, that one does get tipped by Surface on the breakout for Edge. They're forced to slow it down here as they were trying to sign Sadie Secord.
Yeah, she was all over that one, Surface was. You could tell she was a bit upset after turning over the ball previously, so able to disrupt the Edge offense. They will have possession, though, on their own side.
Alicia Money checks in for Davina Grant. Kells needs a breakout. Nice little opportunity. Does find Anderson. Munn trying to force her to the right-hand side. She does go right-hand side. Takes the screen. Splits the defender. Spin move inside for Anderson. Out to three. It's Bwalia. Not able to hold on cleanly. And now Edge forced to reset. It will be Secord on the attack. The lay. No go. Second opportunity. Yes. Yasmin Kells with the put back. And that's lovely to see. Reestablish the double-digit lead.
Same story we've talked about all game. Kells inside the paint. It's been the defensive or offensive rebounds by Edge. They've dominated it all afternoon.
And I mean, so far, Edge has 36 rebounds on the day. 15 of them offensive. They have almost as many rebounds on the offensive glass as St. Jude's has rebounds. And I think, to St. Jude's credit, they have 9 offensive boards, so they're 10 defensive ones. But I think that just goes to show how insane the offensive glass has been for this Edge side. They have more offensive boards than St. Jude's have defensive boards. They've been cleaning up shop on both ends, getting second chance opportunities while also not giving many of them up. And even then, they've taken less shots this game than St. Jude's so far, which has been interesting. And St. Jude's just not been able to get the cleanest of looks, but they've been trying to force things and continuing on that spirit. It gets popped out of the hands of Sophie Munn. Out of bounds it goes, and it will be Edge taking it the other way.
That's been the story of the game. The offensive rebounds and also even just the defensive stops are playing such at a fast pace that St. Jude's is struggling to keep up at times.
Money strips it from Mondrasic, but it ends up turning over back to Edge. Goes to Secord. She's open for three. High bounce around, and talk about the shooter's bounce. That one falls for Sadie Secord. Her third three-pointer of the day.
After going 0 for 7, now she's, I believe, 3 for 9 or 3 for 10. She has got real hot as of recently.
Tammy Adewunmi gets the steal, puts in the bucket. Continues to grow the gap. 57-41 the score now. And with that bucket from Sadie Secord, she's at 10 points, now leads the team in scoring. Munn sizing up Adewunmi. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Out to Sam. She lets it go for three. Gets it! Maylise Coco Sam lets it go from beyond the arc. We haven't seen her really put her stamp on the game, but that one might wake her up a little bit. It might wake up this St. Jude side a little bit. We'll see how they're able to respond. Fighting for it. Jump ball is what's called. It goes the other way. St. Jude's will be the ones taking possession. Subs being converted for Edge. Yes. Anderson checking in. Number 21, Avery Zulak checking in. Number 12, Freya Zarifa checking in. And we see Adewunmi, Walia, and Kells checking out. Meanwhile, Maylee's Coco Sam after that 3-on-1 and checks out. And we will be seeing Sierra Surface come right back into this game.
Yeah, Surface has been the secondary option for St. Jude. She's in double digits at 10 points alongside Sophie Munn, who's got 20. But other than those two, it really drops off a cliff almost for scoring.
Surface hands it over to Alimi. Alimi over to Ife. Ife, back it goes to Surface. Surface pausing for a moment, needs something, anything here at the line. Kicks it inside, not able to find a teammate. Anderson the one to pick it off. Anderson sees the backdoor pass to Secord. It's a bit high. Secord trying to get it back to a teammate. Can't. Turned over. It will be Money. Leading quickly. Has Surface on the right-hand side. Instead keeps it herself. Very tenacious drive from Alicia Money. And she's able to get the bucket there. 5 points now in the game. And Money immediately with the steal. Great to see from her. Trying to turn it around, make it a 4-point swing all on her own. Does just that. Great to see from Money. 9-point game now again for St. Jude's.
Back-to-back twos there from Money, but it's been her aspirations on the defensive side of the ball as well. She's been so tenacious all game long, aggressive, and turning over basketballs.
Edge with a great passing play there, and they're able to get it from one end to the other and right to the basket. Secord with the assist as she finds Freya Zarifa inside. Now it will be Surface trying to find something. Pauses, hesitates, loses it for a second, back in the corner, being swarmed by Secord. Pass over to Money. Money inside, shovel over to Ife. Ife over to Alimi. Alimi back to Ife. Ife, quick pass over to Money. Inside it goes. Shot clock violation is what gets called there. And despite Money converting on her third consecutive basket, that one will not count, and it will be edge ball. We have a player on the ground right now. They're going to go 10 to her. We'll be right back. We return, ladies and gentlemen, here. 3:27 remaining in the third. St. Jude's have been the better side so far in the third, but Edge have been able to claw it back to where the advantage in this third quarter's only been 4 points. And now they look to close that gap in the third quarter even further. And Anderson! And one play! Katie Anderson doing what she does best, the coast-to-coast play. And she travels express all the way from Calgary for those 2 points with one more coming.
Just so perfect there from Katie Anderson. As you mentioned, coast to coast. She's done that successfully all afternoon long and nightcaps it there with the and one, converts on the 3-point play.
And just like that, as I said, St. Jude's had a big advantage, but what ended up happening for them, they took their foot off the gas a bit, weren't able to convert on it, and now it's back to being a 3-point gap in just the third quarter, but on the scoreboard, 12 points. They got to claw back there. Anderson pausing, pass all over to Zarifa. She finds Bwalia, her three-pointer, no! Rebounded by Ife, finds Munn. Munn leading the charge here on this left-hand side. Drifts over to the right, has a lane inside to the basket, can't convert on it through contact, wanted the foul, doesn't get it. It's back out to Grant. Her three-pointer off the backboard, no. Grant corralling it, saving it to Ife. Ife back to Alimi. Alimi out to Munn in the corner. She's open, lets it fly. Money! And though Alicia isn't the one, it will be cashed in by Munn. Munn tried getting a quick steal there and is called for the foul. Unfortunate to see for her. It will be her third personal of this game.
That was a fantastic offensive possession there by St. Jude's. They brought it in the paint. They kicked it out. They got offensive rebounds. And at the end of the possession, it came down to an open look from your game leader, game high, Sophie Munn with her 23rd point of the afternoon.
Sky Bergen leading it up here for Edge. Pass on over to Zulak. Bwalia Inside it goes, out to the corner, and it's just a bit too much mustard on it. It goes the other way. St. Jude the one taking it. Coach Kenny Manning, a little bit of a discussion there with the referees with hand symbols, and I had a friend of mine, he mentioned it earlier today, how we should all learn sign language. I don't think that's a recognized version of it, but we all got the message.
I'm sure the refs understood what he meant too. I mean, you kind of feel in here, Julian, that momentum slowly but surely shifting a bit towards St. Jude's as of recently.
And I mean, they need to do better on that possession. Unforced shot. Anderson catches in stride, doesn't repay the favor the other way. Still, though, Edge get the offensive glass, and again, the story of the game of this offensive rebounding battle, and it will be Yasmin Kells getting one for herself and 2 points as well. Rebounded by Zulak. Zulak head to arm contact with her own teammate. Very odd on that situation. But it will be a foul on white 12, Davina Grant. Edge will continue on with the possession. Sadie Secord checking in along with Temi Adewunmi.
It puts Edge in the bonus. They'll get a couple free throws here. Already 5 in the quarter. I mean, there is only a minute 37 left to go, but just more opportunities for Edge to add on to their lead. They'll take every little point they can because once you get to the fourth quarter, that's it after that. So if they try to keep it at least a double-digit lead, they would like to have at least a double-digit lead going into that final quarter.
Zulak hits her first free throw, second one coming soon, and I'm inclined to agree with you on that, and I mean that in the sense that the fourth quarter, yeah, it sounds very silly. It's like you roll your eyes sort of thing, but it is the final quarter. At that point, when you're St. Jude's, your opponent on the court is no longer your only enemy. Time becomes your enemy as well. And that ends up being very, very crucial in these games. And even though they've kept it clean so far throughout, it's been a significantly cleaner third quarter for both these teams in general, they need to be better. And they can be better. And we'll see where it ends up going. Surface incisive ball to Munn. Munn through the pressure draws the foul. And gets the foul on Sadie Secord. 2 free throws coming. It's Sadie Secord's third foul. Kells checking out. Apologies there, Jake.
That's all good. I was going to say, Munn just looking to add on to her game-high 23 points. She's so far at the free throw stripe, 3 for 6, so just at a 50%. A chance to increase that, though, with a couple more opportunities.
And Sophie Munn so far today has taken the mantle of the leading scorer for St. Jude's. Her 23 points here is her season high. Sinks the first free throw. Next one coming soon.
And you got to think she's going to play a big factor here in the fourth quarter. She's already hucked up 11 threes as well. Made 4. But when you're in the fourth quarter, it's a battle of mentality because every shot you miss, you feel like you're getting further and further away from the end destiny.
Turned over on the pass to Katie Anderson in the corner. Munn hit both her free throws to make it an 11-point game. Wondrasic checks in for Sadie Secord. And St. Jude's are going to do what they can. Edge, a change very much defensively for them, and by that I mean they're no longer full court pressing, laying back a little bit more, and I think that's what's allowed St. Jude's to be a little bit more comfortable with their style of play. Surface beats her defender, floats it up, can't convert. Surface plays it off the legs of Adewunmi. Gets a chance to properly reset here. 1:02 remaining in the third quarter, Jacob.
That's just a smart play there by Surface. First of all, she puts up her own floater, grabs her own rebound, and realizes she's so close to the baseline, I got to bank it off a player, grab an offensive possession, and this, just because of that play from Surface, Sophie Munn's able to convert on a 2.
Wondrasek now out to Bwalia. She's open for 3. Instead takes it inside. She floats it. No. Picked up still. Bouncing around. Boing, boing. Ends up in the hands of Munn. Munn passes it over to Sam. Says, chase it down, girl. She gets it. Can't convert on it, though. It will be Katie Anderson the other way. She pushes forward. Pausing. Gets the contact there, and it will be an inbound opportunity again for Edge. It slows the game down a little. Take a little bit of a breather. Calm it down a little bit. And now we'll be seeing some substitutions.
We've seen many of these moments before where both teams kind of get a field goal, and then all of a sudden, it's back and forth, turnover, bucket, turnover. And then you have a foul, and that kind of slows down the room, quiets down everybody. Everyone could take a breather, but in those times of desperation, it just feels like everyone's going a million miles per hour.
Anderson hits her first and hits her second. She's been fantastic from the free throw line. 5 for 5 at the line so far for Katie Anderson. And I mean, in my opinion, she's been one of the best players for this Edge team. She leads the charge on offense, leads the charge on defense. Exceptional play from her. Edge force a miss again and now go again. Wondrasic finds Anderson. She's given space from 3, high off the front end of the rim. Rebounded again by Edge. Up it goes, it's Winquist. Gets the bucket through contact. Clock's ticking. Got to get something up, anything up. Mudge is going to chuck it. It's short, and that will be the end of the third quarter, 70-57. When we come back here, 10 more minutes of basketball. We'll see if Edge can hold out and advance to the quarterfinals of the WNPA playoffs live here at Humber College. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Every player deserves a chance to be seen, a chance to be heard, a chance to leverage opportunities and showcase their skills. At NPH, players and teams can create their very own unique pieces of content, from individual player and team mixtapes to feature stories, program documentaries, and live broadcast experiences. NPH creates high-quality visual content with one purpose: exposure. Canada breeds basketball talent, and the players and programs deserve a chance to showcase it. So wake up, because exposure starts here.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. They look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids do that and help as many kids as possible, right?
10 minutes. 10 minutes is all that's left in one of these teams' seasons. But 10 minutes will be all that's left for the other one today before they have to play against Niagara Prep tomorrow. And I mean, the enticing thing about that, as previously mentioned, with Team Canada having their camp throughout this week, Niagara Prep, they're going to be missing their top 2 scorers. They're going to be missing one of their best wing defenders, and they're going to be missing one of the best defenders point blank in the league. That's going to be a big, big problem for Niagara Prep, but whichever team comes out on top here today, Jacob, they're going to be licking their lips at a potential chance at a semifinals run, but they got to make it out of today first. Edge get the steal quickly here. It's Anderson. As per usual, Surface comes flying in behind. Anderson able to hustle and grab it. Adewunmi puts it up. No. She fights for it, still on the ground. It's loose, and it will be a jump ball situation called the other way. It will become St. Jude's ball, and they really got to get something going. Yes, 9:23, still a decent amount of time, but when you trail by 13, you'd much rather this be a closer game or even one you're ahead on.
Yeah, well, it's going to sound obvious, but St. Jude, they just got to start making shots, whether it's behind the arc, although you're not in desperation time yet, where you got to start hucking up threes, but just stuff has to start dropping, and you got to get stops on defense. It's as simple as that. If they're going to slowly but surely start the offense, and of course, they got to spread the love around. I would like to see some depth scorers kind of poke through and get some big buckets, because Sophie Munn, she's had a fantastic afternoon, and she will continue to have a fantastic final 9 minutes. But if they're going to want to pull off this comeback, Julian, got to get the depth going.
And I will say, a lot of people, I want to criticize modern basketball real quick. We end up giving a lot of criticism for efficiency. People get all up in, what's the word? Riot, I suppose is the term, oh, the efficiency isn't very good, and they say things like that. And you look at Sophie Munn's stat line and you go, well, she's 4 for 12 from 3 and she's 9 for 23. Well, if you're only watching the box score, you're not watching the game. She's usually the one that has to take the shots. She's usually the one that has to take a bunch of contested shots. And she's been converting as high of a rate as she can. 8 free throws is still a nice amount of time that she's been able to get to the line. It's one of those where, as you pointed out, someone on St. Jude's needs to alleviate the pressure on Sophie Munn. Yes, she's the one taking the shots in most cases, but usually she's the one that has the confidence to just let it rip. And if I'm this St. Jude side, you need to just let it fly. Yes, you have more shots, but I feel like a lot of them come from a lot of hesitation on the transitions. They get a little worried that they won't have a clean look, and as a result of that not being the cleanest of looks, it ends up becoming a contested one, and that's not one you really want to have. But they've been solid defensively. They've cleaned up a bit more on the offensive glass. They've been able to specifically stop Edge from cleaning up so much on the offensive glass. But it's been solid for them throughout this game. It's been nice to see, and now, again, you trail by 13, a whole minute's elapsed. You haven't allowed any points, but you haven't scored any either. You gotta keep it pushing. Let's see where they go from here. Sam, pass over to Munn. Munn pausing, pulls up on the pop, isn't able to convert. Money can't save it and almost falls over entirely on the Edge bench. And it will be Edge getting themselves settled to go the other way.
Katie Anderson recently subbed out of this game. She's on 4 fouls here, so in foul trouble. She's at 13 points. But just her hustle on both sides of the floor has something that has really stood out to me.
Pass on out. As it gets dumped back inside, it makes its way over to 3. Surface, pausing quickly. Steps back, still needs something. Loses it, stripped there, ends up hitting the deck. Surface trying to fight 4, and she turns it over. And it will be a timeout called by St. Jude's here. They end up wanting one. Sub being made, but timeout yet to be signaled. Just subs.
You can tell St. Jude not happy with that last possession. Kind of fluttered around just the entirety of the paint around the arc. Couldn't really drive inside. Didn't get any good looks at all.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, very, very shortly. So we'll see where it ends up going from there.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. You look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids with that and help as many kids as possible. Right?
Continuing on here, it's been a scoreless fourth quarter up to this point. We'll see which team strikes first and which team holds on in this advantage. It will be Edge considerable lead, but anything can happen in basketball. I mean, Reggie Miller, no, it wasn't Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller had 9 points, I believe it was, in like 9 seconds. And then it was Tracy McGrady, 13 and 31 seconds. So anything could happen at the drop of a hat. And Edge immediately able to get scoring straight off the timeout. Munn sidestep for 3. Can't convert on it. Rebounded by Sam. Back out to Munn. She says, okay, can't convert on that one. Might as well let it try. Secord pulls it in. She flips it on over to Bergen. Hand over to Boalia. She finds Zulak out to 3. It will be Bergen. Isn't able to convert. Sam the one to rebound. Pass over to Munn. Munn leading the charge for St. Jude's. Pausing, Pass over to Surface. Surface steps back, pulls up from the mid-range. Nice little jumper. Can't get the lucky bounce off of it. And it will end up being rebounded here by Edge. Elbow called for Zulak. And Zulak can't believe that that's the call that goes against her. That will be her third foul on the day. And when you glance on over to this Edge side, yes, they lead big, but Secord, 3 fouls. Kells, 3 fouls. Anderson, 4. Adewunmi, 4. And now Zulak with 3. So with the foul out being at 5, if I'm St. Jude's, I might just try to attack the basket as aggressively as possible.
I guess it comes to the benefit, though, of having so much depth and rotating players that these players can accumulate many fouls and still not be in foul trouble. Because let's say one of these guys do foul out, they got another one ready on the bench, ready to go.
Surface, high arcing shot, kisses the glass and drops. 2 points there, gets those 2 right back. Surface trying to get the steal, can't. And it will be Wondrasik checking in. And again, Wondrasik, class of 2030. I've been very impressed with her today. 7 points on the day, might not seem the most impressive, but she hasn't fouled. Which for this team with a high intensity shows she's been able to keep it clean. She's been trying to find the additional pass. She's been doing everything she can for neatness in every possession. And she's perfect from the field, 3 for 3. That's what you love to see. Still, though, Edge can't convert on their chance. St. Jude's can't capitalize on that. So now it goes the other way. Up it goes to Wondrasik. She's given chance. Mid-range jumper. First miss of the game for her. That's all right. A bit of a delayed commentator's curse on that. But it will continue to be an Edge's possession. Avery Zulak splashes home to continue to grow the advantage.
Every bucket that goes in for Edge is further and further away that St. Jude just even has a feeling of potentially getting a comeback. And if you're on the court for St. Jude, every bucket is just heartbreaking at this point, and just it makes you feel more desperate. And that offense just becomes a little bit, obviously desperation also plays into the fact of maybe just a little bit more messy. Got to keep it clean here. It's got to stay focused.
Continuing on will be Sam. Gets the steal, continues it forward, slows it down, out to Surface. The chance doesn't convert. Passed on out. Now it ends up landing in the hands of Zarifa. Apologies. Bergen finds Zarifa on the 1-2. Back it goes to Kells on the offensive glass. Again it goes Zarifa, gets the board, puts it up again. That was about 3 offensive boards immediately for Edge, but they couldn't convert on it. A 3-pointer immediately for Bergen! Sky Bergen lets it fly, and that continues to grow this lead as it sits at 19. 40 seconds and 4 minutes remaining in this one. A bit odd on my phrasing, but it's very, very simple. Time's running out. Amber Ife checking in along with Aaliyah Alimi.
Yeah, bringing some more size with Ife, 6'2", and obviously now with a 19-point lead. The goal is just they've obviously struggled with the rebounds here this afternoon, and while rebounds are of the essence, you gotta get possessions, you gotta get some field goals going down by 19.
Still continuing on, it gets over to Munch. She's just gonna let it go from 3. It's short, still bouncing around, ends up in the hands of Alimi. Alimi into Ife. Pass inside of Money, she can't hold on to it. Edge will be getting the ball again, and we're seeing Katie Anderson, Tamia Dewunmi, both checking in along with Sadie Secord. Anderson and Dewunmi both with 4 fouls already, but if I'm Edge, they're less worried about the fouls and more worried about having your best players out there, so just try to chew as much clock as possible.
That's exactly what they need to do. Hold on to it, play the full shot clock, and try to negate stuff like that. You see there really hard on the offense. That was Money. She's done that all afternoon long, just in your face. She actually, I believe, has a game high with 6 steals. Hovering around that.
It's actually 7 steals
7,
now,
even better. Even better.
7 steals for Alicia Money. That is half of the total that Edge has, That is almost half of the total her own team has. So she's been very active in trying to get the ball. It's just not been capitalizing in her favor.
And that's as many steals as she has points, actually, which is a fascinating stat. She's kind of spread out all of her production across many different metrics.
Munn tried finding Ife. Instead, it ends up going back on out to Alimi. Alimi hands it over to Money. Money takes it around the corner, attacks Wander second side, dumps it over to Plivchich. And it will be a push. A foul called, 2 free throws coming for St. Jude's, and a timeout called for Edge. 3:41 remain in this one. And we will be right back after this quick little break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Right back. You guys got to be aggressive. 6 minutes left. It's a 13-point game. Okay, this is the time. Now's the time.
Return for the timeout, ladies and gentlemen. 3:41 left in this one. And it's a 19-point gap here. St. Jude's can close it out here with some free throws for Alicia Money. But it's been brutal for them today, Jacob. It's just not been going for them. It's unfortunate to say because, yeah, I think both these teams are very happy with chunks of the season they've had. St. Jude's probably feels a slightly hard done by in the sense that they're like, you know what? We haven't been able to really capitalize on our play this season. On top of that, Silvana Maldonado being hurt. Tough to see for him. Same goes for Miriam Henriquez. Same goes for Kara Sapong. We're talking about them losing the rebounding battle. Kara Sapong, their main rebounder. I talked with her pregame. She said, sadly, the doctor said 2 more weeks before they clear me for playing. And well, it is what it is in that front.
Yeah, nothing they can do about it. They just had to be resilient today, and they've given their best effort. And with 3:28 left, we'll see if they got anything left in the tank.
Inbound soon to come here for Secord. Secord in quickly to Anderson. Anderson pass on over to Winquist. She can't hold on to it there. Weird situation there. Money the one to get the steal. She shovels it over to Munn. Munn says, I'm just going to let it go. It's short, bounces around, Money gets the offensive board. Shovel pass back to Ife. Apologies, she can't convert. Gets the board after the scramble, back it goes to Munn. Munn is set, just as I'm gonna let it rip again. It's short, she's just putting up anything to try to get something, anything, can't. Ife fighting for it, ends up going out of bounds. It will be ruled in Edge's favor. Coach Kenny Manning, the entirety of St. Jude's, they're not happy at all with that one.
I mean, yeah, it's just a desperation play on the floor. It could go either way as there's 2 bodies diving, and it's up to, obviously, to the ref's interpretation. Goes Edge's way, and just in these moments, obviously, St. Jude not going to give up to the final second, but you can take every possession you can and just don't get the fall there.
Adewunmi, hard attack to the basket, books it with 2, continues to grow the advantage to 21 points now. And if I'm Edge, it's simple, just don't allow a run, I think is the very simplest way to approach it. St. Jude's really the ones that have to fight with time right now. Alimi the one that sets it, lets it go up. It's tipped by Secord. Nice little block from her. Money trying to fight for it, goes right back up, draws the foul. 2 free throws for her, and that is the 5th foul for Temi Adewunmi. She will have fouled out with that one.
I think this scoreline now up to our biggest lead in the entire game, I believe, up to a 21-point difference. And it just goes to show, back in the 3rd quarter, more in the latter half, it came down, I believe it got to at least a single-digit point differential, down to at least 9. And And at that point, you're kind of thinking maybe momentum shifting. St. Jude's going to kind of keep it a closer game throughout the rest of it. Edge probably transitioning to a bit more defensive style, especially getting to the later stages. But they have just ramped up the offense, kept it consistent. Really goes to show their characters of players on the floor. And, well, they'll be going into tomorrow or their next game in the quarterfinals feeling very confident.
Munn gets the reverse lay on the scramble play, tucks it away. But so far, a timeout has been called by Edge. And Coach Eddie Richardson comes over and tells him, hey, I wanted a timeout. I'm sorry. I know it's a little loud. It gets tough to make sure, but he wanted to come here and clear that up with them. But, yeah, just to talk real quick about this game so far. We'll sit here throughout the rest of this timeout. It's the last timeout. So just to talk about the game, talk what's potentially to come, things of all that nature. 80-61 the score, and it really has just been Edge throughout this game. Though they did get outscored in the third, 26-24, they have not lost the lead in this game. The closest this game was, apart from it being tied to start off the game at 0-0, was when it was at 16-15, almost at the end of the second. Edge went on a run right before the end of the first, went on a crazy run in the second, and they were able to maintain in the third and grow that advantage here in the fourth. So it's been a tough game for St. Jude's. It's one of those that you want to reflect on. You're going to have a bunch of graduating players. I mean, you look at the roster right now. Sierra Sunkel's not coming back. Carissa Pong graduating as well. Tough for her. Same goes for Savannah Maldonado and Assyria Chamberlain. Their seasons end today. But you look at people like Davina Grant, Miriam Henriquez coming back next year, Sierra Surface, Sophie Munn. They have some talented players for next year. The question is just, who do they add in this offseason? Who do they have in their system? And how do they bounce back after this season? Edge continuing on. It goes over to Anderson. She's pausing, drives inside. The whistle goes, and it will be a blocking foul, a grab by Davina Grant. And it will be Katie Anderson taking some free throws. No, it won't be. They're not in the bonus. Oops. I've been used to the bonus all game. I guess just not the case so far in this one. St. Jude's get the steal on this possession, Jacob. Now they're running.
They've kept it pretty clean here in the fourth quarter. Only 2 fouls.
Grant floats it up and in, gets it to go. And now they're putting all the pressure they can here to try to force something. Anderson, quick little pass on out to Bergen. Bergen has pressure put on her. Kicks it over to Zulak. Zulak back to Bergen. Bergen pausing around. Looking for someone, anyone. Tried finding Anderson. It's loose for a moment. Anderson the one to pull it in. It's giving some space for three. Instead, gives it over to Bergen again. They're just letting all the clock run out. Surface reach in foul. And that will be Sierra Surface's 4th foul.
I mean, at this point of the game, the only minute 35 left to play. I mean, if you foul, it's whatever. Just trying to create something, more. Now it's more or less the little things. Trying to potentially, if they do end up ending their season, which is looking very, very likely, this will be it. Just trying to end on a high note.
Turnover again. It will be St. Jude's trying to get something here to close this game out. Munn, deep three-pointer, gets it to go. 5th one for her today, and it is a 14-point gap with 1:19 remaining. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it is quite unlikely. That being said, they forced the miss on Winquist. Pass quick by Grant. Over to Munn. She's streaking down. Gets 2 points. I don't know, man. 12-point game now. They're closing it up.
Making me eat my words, which I just stated just moments ago, because look at this hustle. A quick three from Munn. She's down the court. Quick transition on the next play. She gets another 2. She's up to 34 points on the afternoon. Phenomenal from Sophie Munn, and all of a sudden the narrative has been shifted just slightly. 12 points in a minute, 4 seconds.
Secord the one inbound. Davina Grant almost got the steal, but it got just away from her. Now Edge going to have to inbound again. Quick into Kells. Kells back to Secord. Secord pausing into one drastic. Popped out by Surface. She gets the steal. Pass quickly over to Munn. She's going to take it right to the basket. 2 more points for Sophie Munn. It's a 10-point game with 54.9. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. It might be a closer one than we think. Up to Secord. She can't hold on. St. Jude's go the other way. And just like that, the swing goes in favor of St. Jude. 50.3 remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Quick shovel over to Grant. Grant taking it on. Crossover pauses, needs something, anything. Back it goes to Plivcic. Plivcic over to Money. Money has surface, instead takes it herself right to the basket, draws the contact, draws the foul! 2 free throws coming now, and 38.5 remaining. It's the 4th foul here for Yasmin Kells.
That's huge there from Money. Driving inside and gets the foul. What does that do? That stops the clock because every second is so precious, and these free throws are critical.
Money is about to take her 16th free throw, and I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything, but she's only made 3 out of those 15 she's taken so far. Imagine we'd probably be tied right now if it was a little more efficient, but it doesn't come down to just one player. It's down to a team. She misses both. It's a jump ball situation, goes the way of Edge.
And if you want to talk about total impact of the game as well, just late here in this tight scenario we have, with 1 free throw made, if Money would have made 1, it would have made it a 4-possession game. It now remains 3. Pardon me, it would have made it a 3-possession game. It now remains 4 with the 10-point difference.
Edge need to break out. Grant putting all the pressure in the world. Finds Secor. They got to break out of their own half. They do. Quick little pass over to Anderson. Anderson shovels to Kells. She can't hold on to it. Kenny Manning wants a timeout. This game's far from over, ladies and gentlemen. 25.3. We're going to take a little break here. Let ourselves rest a little bit for what seems to be, what might be, one of the endings of the season.
It honestly could be, Julian. It has been intense. You would have asked me this 2 minutes ago when there was 3 minutes left and there was 20 points of difference. I was going to tell you it's all about over, but all of a sudden, there's brand new life to this ball game.
Quick little breather. We'll be right back.
My name is Chaz Louisi from Arete Threads. We are going to outfit a basketball player from head to toe. We do on-court apparel for uniforms, and then we do warm-up apparel, shooting shirts, off-court apparel. We do track suits, and then we do backpacks to carry all the gear to games to and from. Like North Pole Hoops helping on the league side and exposure side, we're going to help with the apparel side as well. They look good, feel good, play good, right? So trying to help kids do that and help as many kids as possible. Right?
We return, ladies and gentlemen. 25.3 remains in this game. 10-point game. And I mean, again, is it unlikely? It's unlikely. But in the words of Justin Bieber, never say never. Plivcic, pass inside of Munn. Stripped there by Anderson. And she gets fouled immediately by Alicia Money. That isn't a foul to go to the bonus, it seems. One more.
Just a great defensive stop there by Edge. Obviously, they understand that the game plan that St. Jude's going to drop is going to revolve around Sophie Munn. They guard her heavily. They try to force the ball to her, but it just doesn't go.
Pressure on Wondrasic. She's stolen immediately by Money. She goes up, draws the foul on Wondrasic. And I know that it might seem a little crazy to say because you don't want to foul because it stops the clock. But if you're going to foul anyone on this St. Jude side, it's been a tough day for Alicia Money at the line. I'd say keep it up. It seems to be something. She's not getting up. She doesn't seem hurt. Or is she? Munn signals for a timeout, for a change, for a sub. They're going to go check on her. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Maylee's Coco Sam will be the one taking the free throws as Alicia Money probably ends her day. She's hurt. And even though the scoring woes have been there, the defensive impact cannot go understated. 10 steals, and she's ready to come back in. Doesn't get the sub. Secord holds on to it. They're going to try to waste the time. Goes over to Wondrasek, apologies. Quick little pass on over to Secord. Secord has pressure on her surface. With the foul, it will be on Sierra Surface. And that's her 5th. She's done for the day. Fouls out here. Money will sub in. First free throw by Secord goes.
And I think an outlier about this game, obviously you mentioned the depth scoring of Edge, but we talked about Secord coming into this game and her numbers. Obviously only playing 2 games, but averaging 25 points a game, Julian. But she has not been the main player of this offense. She's actually having a very, I would say, poor shooting night. 3 for 17 at the field goal, only 3 for 11 from beyond the arc. But it just goes to show how well-rounded of an effort this was from this entire Edge team. Whether it was hustling on defense, grabbing those offensive boards, and making big shots, this team is making a statement here early on in the tournament, and it's going to be something to watch out for moving on to the quarterfinals and potentially even beyond.
We'll have to see. It wasn't Sadie Secord's best showing, but as a timeout is called here, 10-point gap. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Last 8 seconds of the game goes to Munn. She's just going to let it fly. Isn't able to get it. Rebounded by Sam. Chance by Money. Tried kicking it out to someone. There was no one there. And that's the end of the game. 82-72, the final score. And it will be Edge. Their Cinderella run, or well, their run. We'll see if it will be a proper dance to the ball. We'll continue tomorrow as they take on Niagara Prep. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is it from my beloved boy, Matt Ritchie, the king from Kingston, Jacob Ewing. I've been Julian Quintero Verano on the call, and I'll be seeing you very, very shortly for our next game, which will be Code versus Sacred Heart on this court. Jacob will be seeing you very soon with Tony Marinov for the game between King's Christian and Notre Dame. Until next time, though, ladies and gentlemen, see ya.
They've been sleeping tons of. Wake up, wake up. Wake up is a new day, new era. Lights on, game loud, move clearer. They slept too long, now the storm got nearer. Wake up, look in the mirror. Wake up, you feel that shift in the air. Stardust burn, old crew in the flare. What's gonna shake when the dreamers declare? Wake up, we already here. Wake up, wake up. Cold floors, no name on the list. We built from the shadows, can't sleep on this. Every miss was a spark, now the flames exist. Universe are aligned, can't resist the twist. They hit snooze while we built in the dark. Now we run plays with celestial a spark.